Let the island of misfit toys know Daddy's going on a mission. No! No, even pandas cry? Japan hates JJK. It's a terrible day for rain. Panda's last stand. Is it just me, or is it very funny that people are actually buying into the whole Japan hates JJK narrative? It's really funny because it feels like the same thing that happens with any like English tweet. It'll be like one post that gets some traction, and then they'll use that as a collective narrative to be like, oh my god, everyone in insert culture or community hates it. It's like, no, bro, a majority of people aren't terminally online like we are. Something getting traction that's negative is bound to have more traction than something that's positive. Japan as a whole surely does not hate JJK because they didn't quite understand Kill Bill. It might be a more common thought that maybe it wasn't as good as previous episodes, but like, it's such pointless grifting. Nah, man, I forgot about this. I forgot about his aura farming. I forgot about this man shredding. That's hilarious. Damn. Bro cursed him in his death. Ah, so he may be the one who did it, but you're just a knife who fell on him rather than the person pulling the trigger. No, Panda. Panda. Oh my god. First rule of Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club. We basically got to the WWE of fucking JJK fights. Ooh, he gonna do a fucking belly flop. Oh, I love it when anime is not afraid to go abstract like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so fucking good for tension. How could Japan do this? How could Japan disrespect peak like this? Am I grifting right? Anyway, I do honestly hope there continues to be a couple of random tweets that get blown out of proportion so that we can continuously see people act like everyone actually hates it. That'd be wonderful. But either way, Yaga's death here absolutely got to me, man. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean we're gonna have to see Panda cry over losing a father, man? And I think the most brilliant thing about that whole death scene is the fact, despite feeling such remorse and, you know, at the end of the day, even pandas can cry, he doesn't blame him. He understands that you were the knife that was used, but it's not like you purposely went at it and did this because you hated him or had resentment for him, right? You're just doing what you were tasked to do. What a powerful scene. I mean, kickstarting the episode with baby Panda already set the stage that it was going to be an amazing episode because Panda always will be best boy because pandas are adorable, especially this panda. Even my cat likes to cry about Panda's death for some reason, you know? Either way, I knew we were going to get into something, but JJK Fight Club was not on my bingo card, and it just absolutely cooked top to bottom. Now, of course, got this far of the video, know what to do, drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell, stay up to date on everything, and Patreon is where you catch my full live reactions to also more, also does help fund the channel and videos just like these. So we got to talk about that rotoscope scene. Now, I didn't look into this, but this had to have been rotoscope. And if you don't know what rotoscoping is, you know, you have live action footage, you trace over it, which gives it that human movement. Because what we had was one continuous shot. We had the camera stand completely where it is. I don't even know how many minutes this was, because looking at it, it started about around the 18-minute mark and finished around the 22-minute mark. So we basically had 4 minutes of just them in this room. The camera refuses to move, but if you actually really do watch how they're moving, that is not animation. What normally happens with anime is because anime is a very still medium. People love to bitch and moan that, oh my god, it barely moved, just mouth flaps. And that's how I know a lot of people are tourists when it comes to anime that have probably too large of a following that they end up having. Because anime, while yes, there are these Sokka moments and there's different quality animation, look at Sentence to Be a Hero, look at JJK. At the end of the day, it is still a lot of standing still and mouth flaps. But to have a scene where you can just have the camera pointed just like this, and because naturally when people talk, we're going to move, right? Like I adjust myself in my seat, I do this, but anime won't do that because one, they don't have the time to animate that stuff, but two, it's hard to do. Rotoscoping allows you to have this very fluid moment where you can just see them move in such a realistic way. Like, that is not normal animation directing. And I think it really nailed the atmosphere because continuous shots can really set the stage. You knew at any moment the shoe could drop with these two. I mean, we walk in and bro's like, want to make $1 million? Give me 200,000. Ah, you caught the con. So everything's going pretty well. And it's around the moment when he pours Yuji a drink where shit's really not good. Because as you can see, right, he pours Yuji a drink, which is nice. Okay, that's awesome. And he's, you know, he's doing his thing. But interestingly enough, he gets a different bottle. And I'm like, okay, did he poison? Like, what's going on? It just all hits the fan. I think they did such a wonderful job at directing that tension, because the whole Fight Club scene with Panda and Yuji was complete bullshit. It was WWE to the maximum without the audience understanding what was happening. They absolutely nailed it. Panda was performing to the maximum potential. I mean, our boy ends up hitting him so hard he flies into the rubble. I mean, it just performative, wonderfully well done. When you make a Fight Club fucking reference near the start of this episode, you gotta deliver, and boy golly did they. For such a manufactured fight for both of them here, they absolutely made it believable, even as a viewer, knowing they were pulling their punches or, you know, just doing a very performative, theatrical performance here, right? I mean, first rule of Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club, and honestly, I just think they aura-farm this whole time. This is a very enjoyable JJK season for one specific reason. It doesn't feel like any of the past JJK seasons, and I have enjoyed every single episode of JJK to some degree or another, some higher than others and some lower than others, of course. But there's something so different about the feeling. And it's not just the references, it's not just the Kill Bill stuff, it's not just the Fight Club stuff. I mean, it's fun, it helps, it's very unique. But it just feels like it's almost like the training wheels have come off. Maybe that's the best way I can describe it. It feels like everything that came before, while very enjoyable and great and sometimes amazing, it's like the training wheels have come off and we've been thrown into the deep end. And in doing so, it just feels like a more adult season. And I mean, you sometimes see that when like a series switches from a shonen to a seinen manga release, because ultimately they don't have to be as restricted to the audiences. And I'm not saying this is like dramatically more graphic or oh my god, but it feels darker in tone without going edgy about it, and I really appreciate this season because of that. And I've also been highlighting this entire time, it feels like JJK Zero. Like the production has JJK Zero's production style and animation quality, despite being a TV anime, which I have to assume the split core is going to be a large part of why the quality remains as consistently high as it is. On top of the fact that every time I see the staff listing for a JJK episode, it's just stacked beyond belief. So it's like, oh, they're absolutely cooking. I mean, One Punch Man fans absolutely crying in a corner because I understand, but thank God JJK got this level of quality, man. I mean, I'm loving it. I think there's a lot to appreciate. I think the Panda scene is still my overall favorite just because it packs so much emotion and just, you know, Panda might be a panda, but Panda still can grieve the loss of a dad. It's just such a beautiful scene. But in terms of pure technical wow, that continuous shot, it's fairly recent, but 100 meters did something similar. But, you know, the camera moves and it's one continuous shot. They stacks of pages to make that happen. This is a little easier to do just because it's just one focus shot, but still, it doesn't take away from the fact that that animation was fucking clean. And, you know, I've talked about this plenty of times on the channel throughout different reviews. The reason why my favorite scene of Evangelion is the scene of them in the elevator and, like, literally nothing happens is because of how perfectly it nails that tension and atmosphere. It's very similar to that, but this time we just have a little more movement to it, and it's wonderful to look at. Let me know your thoughts down below. Japan hating JJK, am I right? Am I clickbaiting enough? Probably. Anyway, thoughts down below. Drop a like, show your support, subscribe. If you're new around here, of course, ring that bell. And Patreon, yes, full live reactions and exclusives. Like, hey, I'd love to give video shoutouts to my patrons because they make these videos possible. All right, so today we got Troy, Rikamatsu, Jeffo369, Game Senpai, Isil Sasiro, Michael Meadows, Sleepfish, and Wayne Delquist. So I appreciate the support. Please take care and have a good one.